Hi, I'm Mira, 𝐂𝐚𝐤's avatar, and I'm thrilled to welcome you to our 5-week miniseries, AI Sparks and Speaks. Over the next few sessions, we're going to dive into a variety of new AI tools designed to enhance business, events, productivity, creativity, and so much more. This is your golden opportunity to learn, share, and ignite discussions in a relaxed, no-pressure setting. And just to set the record straight, it's not me, your friendly AI, hosting these events. You'll have 𝐂𝐚𝐤 herself in flesh and bone guiding you through. But before I pass the mic over to her, I have a small favor to ask. Please click on the link in the comments or chat area to vote for the AI tools you're most excited to learn about in our upcoming sessions. Your insights will light the way for our journey, your spotlight, your voice. Join us on this adventure at AI Sparks and Speaks, a place where your curiosity sparks our conversations. See you there. Hi, I'm Mira, 𝐂𝐚𝐤's avatar, and I'm thrilled to welcome you to our 5-week mini.
Well, hello. My avatar just wants to take a center stage on repeat over there. But hey, for all of you joining today, it is I, and somebody was saying, you know how I can tell if this is a real person or an avatar is by looking at their fingers. I've got all my fingers on me. Okay, so let's make that clear. It is me. I am super excited to welcome you to the first episode of the AI Sparks and Speaks. This is a weekly live stream for about 5 weeks. And I'm going to be for 30 minutes, just covering some AI tools every Wednesday at noon. That is on Eastern time. And we'll dive in what's the coolest AI tech. And I want actually to cover things that you're interested in, not just the ones that I'm interested in. And for that, I have put a link in the chat, and I will mention that throughout our conversation today, because I want to make sure that you're here to learn, also share some of the AI tools that you're using, and ignite some discussions around AI's impact in our world. And again, speaking of that, please do take that seriously, because I want to hear from you. I need your help. So vote for the next AI tool that we will explore. And with that, let's get into some of the introductions that I'm gonna get started. And I have a lot of things that I'm covering today. So I I want to specifically actually cover 3 agents. Now, this is beyond your ChatGPT. And for me, it is important to highlight how, yes, you can use ChatGPT for a variety of things. But today, my focus is going to be on 3 very specific, unique agents. And each are tailored to a different facet of our lives. May that be events, event productions, and wellness, which is the focus for today. So we'll see how each one of those tools can transform their respected fields, making our searches easier and more efficient. But before we get into it, if you're new to my page and this AI talks and workshops and live streams, and maybe I should put my face on here. There you go. I want to do just a quick intro and give you a little bit of who I am. And if you didn't see my name in the lower third, my name is Anka Platon Trifan. I'm coming live from Boise, Idaho. Yes, Boise, Idaho. There's lots of cool things happening in Boise, where I lead charge at Trifan Events. It's a production and AI consultancy agency. And we're all about blending the latest in event technology, in event production, in order to create memorable experiences. As someone who's deeply entrenched in the world of AI, from advising businesses on how they can use AI integration to running practical AI workshops and hosting in-depth conversations on how AI is changing our world, our businesses, and our events, particularly on the Events Demystified podcast, I'm here to take you on a journey of discovery into the AI universe. But that's not all I do. I'm not just about tech. As a fitness enthusiast and a wellness advocate, I also compete in natural bodybuilding competitions. I'm a mom to 2 amazing kids that keep me on my toes. And I believe in pushing boundaries in technology as well as in life. So, are you ready to get us started? Because we've got some ground to cover. Now, I'm curious, by a show of hands, and you can either use the emojis or you can use the chat. And for me to see the chat, I'm gonna have to turn this way. So if you see me looking this way, just know that I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat. I'm curious just to hear, when was the last time you had a conversation with an AI today without even like realizing it? And if you're like scratching your head, let me ask you another question. Have you scrolled through any social media today? Yep. From everything that pops up in your feed to the ads that you maybe barely notice, AI is very much curating your online experience. And it doesn't stop there. Amazon, Netflix, Spotify, your email filters, even asking Siri for weather updates. AI is that unseen hand guiding a lot of our digital interactions today. It's everywhere. It's making decisions from what song plays next to even helping doctors with diagnosis. And that is why it's important to get to know what are the AI tools available to us today. You might think you're an AI expert by now because of all the AI interactions that you're having, and maybe you already are, which is great. But here at AI Sparks and Speaks, we're going to explore how these technologies are not just part of our everyday lives, but how they're going to change businesses, events, productivity, and creativity. And yes, I see some comments in the chat. Yes, this morning on LinkedIn. If you haven't been on LinkedIn or any other social media, you probably need to know that AI is going to dictate a lot of the things that you see, even in your own feed. So that being said, I do want to put you in charge of what AI tool we're going to cover next. So go to that QR code, do vote to see what are, I have the link here ready. So I want to make sure that you get a say on what are the AI tools that we're going to cover next. I have some of my preference ones, but you also get to be part of this conversation. I don't want to be just like speaking alone here by myself. I mean, I kind of enjoy it, but I would love to actually have a conversation versus me just going at it. Now, here's a piece of AI news that's making waves, especially this last week. The European Parliament just passed the most comprehensive set of regulations for AI tech. And I want to make sure that I go back to my screen so the stream is a little delayed, so it doesn't throw me off. And this AI regulations for AI tech is a move that's been sparking quite a bit of debate from all sides, from bans on certain AI apps like biometric and facial recognition, on sensitive characteristics, social scoring, and AI that manipulates behavior, which are not good things, right? To new obligations for high-risk AI, such as in infrastructure, in education, employment, which will face very strict obligations like risk assessment, transparency, human oversight. This is pretty big news. And why does it really matter? It's because while this AI Act aims to set a worldwide benchmark for regulations, there's a concern it might put some of the AI-based companies at a competitive disadvantage. Nonetheless, it is a significant initial step forward. The act could shape the global stance on AI regulations. And we've been talking a lot about, especially on the podcast, about AI privacy and the need for transparency and how AI can be biased and all of that thing. So I hope that this will steer the industry into a future direction that is good for humanity. And with that, I have a question for you. How do you see these regulations shaping the AI landscape? Do you think that the benefits will outweigh the challenges for some of the countries that are impacted directly by it, especially in the near future, like European countries? And if you think about US, I feel like we definitely need some regulations as well. So I'm going to put this in the chat, and I would love to hear from you. What is your thought on this? And while you do that, I'm going to go and talk a little bit about some other fun data that came from a recent census, which reveals that there's a growing AI adoption in US in companies that are looking at AI and are including it into their processes. Obviously, tech firms are at the forefront of this change. 4.9% of the companies are reporting already using AI, with 6.7 planning to use in the next 3 months. So this is moving fast. Now, if you've been following the stock market, NVIDIA valuation soared, driving its stock up by over 9% due to a reported quarterly revenue surge of 265%, totaling over $60 billion. That's a lot of money. And that was attributed to AI reaching this pivotal moment. And if that's not enough, Washington, D.C. has been really, really serious about significant AI integration. What that means for the rest of us, we'll have to see. And all of this is aligning with the trends that AI is going to be a significant part of our processes, of our lives, of our events, of our businesses. Now, the disclaimer here is implementing new technology in processes, may those be productivity, business operations, event analysis, is more like a three-legged stool that involves the people, the process, and the technology. And while it's easy to get caught up in the latest technology, we have to remember it is just one leg of that stool. And without the other two, the people and the processes, this one stool and consequently the strategy that the technology is meant to enhance can stand. Technology is meant to serve the people, not the other way around. So we got to keep that straight. So my advice to you is, if you're not seeing a high enough adoption rates where you're at, in your business, in your company, in your events, I encourage you to invest in training like this one and the several AI workshops and bootcamps that I host weekly and monthly to ensure that your team understands the why behind the required changes and is properly equipped and ready for the new tech and the supporting new processes that you're going to have to implement no matter what. Otherwise, poor processes plus new technology will always mean expensive, poor processes. And I love this visual somebody shared recently. I think it was on LinkedIn. I'm going to have to look up and go back to see exactly who was the original. All right, so with that, let's go over a quick AI glossary just to make sure that we're all speaking the same language. Now, yes, I do speak with an accent, which is fine, but let's take a minute and dive into this glossary of terms related to AI, because you've probably heard that generative AI thrown around a whole lot, right? But what exactly is it? It's basically AI systems capable of generating new content, including text, images, and audio based on learned patterns from data. And with that, we have the GPTs of the world, ChatGPT being the original large language model for generating relevant text from prompts. GAN is basically a generative model that is trained via a competitive framework between two models. You have the generator and the discriminator, mainly for images and text generations. NLP is an AI field for computer-human interaction with natural language, covers understanding and generation. Then we have LLM, the advanced AI for understanding, generating, and translating natural language, capable of composing text and answering questions. LPU is a specialized processor for efficient natural language processing, and that is something that I've been experiencing more with 𝐂𝐴TH, which is why it's faster than ChatGPT in data output as of right now. So just to clarify, 𝐂𝐴TH is not the same as Elon Musk Grok. The confusion obviously threw Elon Musk into a frenzy, but that's a different story for another time. AGI is theoretical AI with a broad, flexible intelligence similar to humans, capable of any intellectual task, and that's sort of like the future of AI. And as ASI is the future of AI, suppressing human intelligence in all aspects, including creativity and decision-making beyond human levels. And luckily, we're not there yet. We still have the humans driving the AI. Now, understanding these terms provides a foundation. Let's say that again. Understanding these terms will provide you with a foundational knowledge base that will help you navigate the complexities of some of the advancements that are happening in AI, from specific applications and models to the broader vision of what the future brings. And with that, we are going to jump into these 3 GPTs that I have alluded to in the beginning. And I am excited about this because all of these 3 GPTs have been created by people that I know, including myself. So whether you're here just to, geek out on AI, find ways to leverage it in your work, or just curious about what this thing is all about, I hope that you enjoy those mini series. Obviously, today was more of an introduction, a light dive into what we're going to talk about. I want to get a little bit more technical in the next ones. And again, it goes back to the tools that you want me to cover. And I know somebody already said something for data analysis, something for LinkedIn SEO, and better, I guess, content creation specifically for professionals. There's another one for marketing, for let's see what else we got here. Julius AI. Actually, I have been playing with that as well. So it'll be fun. I'm excited for this because there's a lot of things to cover. Again, your thoughts and your questions is what makes this series special, so don't be shy. And with that, I'm gonna switch my screens over here. So give me a minute, and I wanna see you engage in that chat. Don't just watch, be part of the conversation, all right? So give me a second to get my ducks in a row, and we're gonna get into our dive here. All right. It'd be nice to play some music while this is happening, right? Right. And I got my screen switched, so we're back in business. And let's add this screen share to the stage. And let's see, what we're gonna start with first is obviously, your regular ChatGPT and how it can do a lot of things for you. Now, the reason why I want to highlight specific GPTs is because, for example, if we're going to showcase this GPT, which has been created by Social Table, and this is actually the first GPT agent that I started playing with in the very beginning. And 𝐂𝐡𝐞𝐤, if you don't follow him on LinkedIn, you should, because he is always putting out so much amazing content for events, for marketing, for how to make the best of the tools that are available in the AI space, specifically for marketing and events. And they also came up with Hive, which is another tool that we can cover at a later time. But here's one thing that I do. When I first come across a new GPT, my first step is I want to ask it, what is its purpose? So if you're going to ask Events GPT Copilot, what is your purpose? It's going to tell you, I'm here to help you with a variety of event planning challenges, from brainstorming and strategizing to execution and now and analysis. And I already ran this for it. So you guys can see how, like, I would go and ask it, okay, give me an overview of what your purpose is. And I'm here, it says, like, I'm here to help with specific event planning challenges, from brainstorming, like I just said. So if you're looking to craft the perfect event proposal, organize your event marketing efforts, manage venue selections, or analyze the success of your event, I've got tips for you and templates and advice and all of that. So that's my first thing that I go and ask it. The next thing I ask is, okay, give me 2 prompts that get the most usage when anyone interacts with you. And here's what it said. Okay, so most people for the event planning needs, they consider using this type of prompts, right? So let's say I'm organizing a community charity run and I need advice on the best digital and marketing strategies to increase participation. What are the most effective online channels and tactics to engage our target audience and encourage signups? So why is this important, right? Like I was telling a friend, you know, this GPT or the next one, which is going to be covered next, AV Production GPT, which actually is my own creation and is being fed on a lot of data sets that have to do with specifically event planning, event strategy, event productions, AI technology. This GPT doesn't care how many grains of sand are on whatever beach in the middle of nowhere, or how many light years it might take us to get to another galaxy. What this GPT cares about is, how am I going to help you produce a solid event? So if you're going to ask this GPT particularly, because again, going back to what is your purpose for your existence. And it's funny because at first it's just gonna, give you a lot of like breakdown, and it goes into great details. Like for example, this one particular will look at how to optimize AV setup. So we'll look at how to navigate the complexities of event technology, how to design engaging event experiences, how to implement AI and digital tools, advice on best practices, budget management, and cost-saving strategies. And also something that I care about a whole lot, especially as a woman in a very male-dominated field, promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion. I am obviously very specific about what I want this GPT to do. So I want it to be trained on that data set, and it's going to tell you, this is what I'm here to do. And then obviously I'm going to ask it, like, okay, so what are 2 prompts that I can use with when engaging with you? And it has actually it gave me several prompts for each one of those, which is great because now I know what to ask it. And talking about prompts, I don't have time to go into prompt engineering, but I actually have a really awesome workshop on LinkedIn, which I'm going to share at the end in the resources, because I want you to be able to take advantage of what is prompt engineering from beginner all the way to advanced prompts. So you use that and you make the best of your usage when you interact with LLMs. So this already gave me all of this prompts that I can use, and that's great because, again, if you want to optimize audiovisual setups for events, or if you want to plan a strategic event when it comes to audience engagement and a solid strategy, this is your go-to. And then the third one, which has been created by my friend David Stevens. He is the host of Return on Wellness, and I think David was there in the chat somewhere. Say hi, David, to our friends here. And this is great, especially if you really want to know what are the best strategies and ways to integrate health-focused activities and principles into my event, thereby increasing engagement and ensuring the well-being of attendees. And this is going to focus on the 4 foundational pillars that Dave talks a whole lot about on his podcast, Return on Wellness, and also all the talks that he does. And that is mindfulness, movement, meals, and meaning. So I did the same thing here, where I went and I asked it, okay, so what is your purpose for existence? Why did Dave create you? And I got, a bit about, okay, I am very frustrated with the lack of wellness integration, and I really want to provide some solutions for the industry to move forward on this path. Also, I want to make sure that there's engagement and participations, and we deal with the stress and fatigue of doing events, and how are we looking at events from a holistic approach. So the next step was like, okay, so what are some of the prompts that people can use when interacting with you? And I got something about incorporating wellness activities into corporate events, as well as strategies for managing stress and maintaining energy levels during events. So I hope that you got curious enough to take those GPTs for a spin and apply them into your event management, into your wellness. And again, this doesn't have to be just for events. If you actually, I created a whole fitness programming from this GPT for one of my friends, because she's like, I want to get stronger and I don't know what to do. And I have a very strict routine that I follow when it comes to my own bodybuilding training, but I wanted to do something for her that is more at her level, right? So I was like, okay, let's take this one for a spin and see what it does. And I was surprised that the results was actually pretty good. All right, so those are the things that I want you guys to play with next. And I'm going to put those links for those GPTs in the chat to make sure that you have them. So let me get to that really quick before I lose my train of thought. While I do that, actually, I'm going to put the QR code on the screen so that you have it again. And here we go. We have the first one. And I see there is a question in the chat. What is the advantage of using this focused GPTs instead of asking the general GPT? So Sina, I just covered that in the beginning of this conversation. I'm not sure if you were able to hear that or not, but the idea is that you want those GPTs to do specific jobs. It's almost like, think about going into the grocery store where you can find like a large grocery store where you can find all kinds of things, from groceries to maybe cosmetics, right? Now, would I want to buy my cosmetics from the grocery store? I don't know. If you ask me, no. I'd rather go to a very specific cosmetic store to buy everything that I need for making myself look younger. I don't use a lot of cosmetics, but that's kind of the example that came to mind. I don't know why. But that's sort of like the idea of why would you want to. Let me put myself back on this screen so that you can see my sense makeup face. That is one of the reasons why you want to focus your searches for a particular specific topic. In this case, we looked at events marketing with Events GPT Copilot. We looked at AV production and AI technology with the AV production GPT. And then we looked at wellness and fitness advice, strategy, and how to incorporate that into events with the Wellness at Events GPT. And there's a lot more out there. I used the higher GPT this last month when I was in the process of hiring someone, and it was very targeted towards that process, right? Like anywhere from how to create a job description to how to ask the right questions during an interview, to how to be HR compliant in the hiring process. All those things were advice that I got from that particular GPT. Whoever created that is a great GPT, by the way. So that's one of the main reasons, and I hope that answers your question. Okay, so a few more things before I move on here to to make sure that I get my screens back. And if you have more questions, please drop them in the chat. Actually, it really it makes me joyous that you are you're listening and you're interacting, and you actually have thoughts about this whole process. Okay, so here's that code again. If you haven't interacted with it, please do so. I think I have the link in the chat as well. And then as we move on towards the end, I'm obviously going a little bit over time, over the 30 minutes that I promised today, just because of all the introductions, and I want to make sure that you have all the tools. I want to highlight 2 workshops that I actually have coming up. The first one is coming up on March 29. We have limited spots on this particular one, just because I intentionally keep this as a small cohort. And the purpose of this is for businesses and AI-related tools as it applies to business systems, processes, integrations for a seamless implementation. We'll guide you through every step of your AI journey with a clear roadmap for success. And we'll also find you a tailored AI solution. We're gonna cut through all of that AI tech jargon and cover the perfect tools customized for your needs, with the goal for you to experience the power of AI firsthand as your business takes off in record time. I'll drop the link in the chat for you, or you can find it on the website. And I hope to see you there. I run those on a monthly basis. The next one is actually a very a light version of the boot camp, and is a limited time special price. It's a steal, really, as far as pricing goes. And the date for this one is April 19. The course goes beyond just the regular understanding of what AI tools for events are. It's a practical dive into utilizing some of those AI tools to transform how you plan, market, and execute events, and is really ideal for any event organizer, meeting planner, industry professional that is eager to integrate AI into their events. It's a course that is the purpose of it is to equip you with the skills to become a leader in technology-driven event planning. And I will put a link for this in the comments as well. You can find it on the website if you lose that. And then if you're like super confused, okay, I don't know which one is the right one for me, well, guess what? I have a few openings for a 15-minute consultation where we can figure this part together. And for that, I hope that you'll be interested enough to just connect with me on LinkedIn, or use that Calendly link to book at a time that works for you. For the LinkedIn, here's my contact. I'm easy to find if you know my name. And with that, let's see, any other questions? I would love to see if there's any other questions in the chat. If not, do scan this QR code to get our resources. And again, this is the link for that ChatGPT beginner and advanced prompting workshop. If you want to make the best use of any GPT, any LLM, including the GPTs that I have covered and shared about today, this is a must-watch workshop. It's free. All you have to do is scan that QR code and get access to it. And I hope that sets you well on our way. Make sure that you do have a say in what tools I'm going to cover next week. And that is with this Slido QR code, which I'm also gonna drop it in the chat, because I want to make sure that you didn't lose it somewhere along the way. Let's see if I can find my link here. Okay. And while I do that, feel free to drop any other questions you might have. I promise I'll get to that link. I had it. I will put it after if I can seem to find it right now, because I want to make sure to be, oh yeah, I found it. It was like right in front of my face. Duh. All right, here we go. And with that, this is the end of our first AI Sparks and Speaks mini series. I'll see you next time, Wednesday at the same time, 12 p.m. Eastern time. And I will look over the poll to make sure that we get to touch on some of the tools that you're interested in talking about. So with that, have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. We'll see you next time.